Welcome back to another edition of the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. This week, we're visiting with our women's basketball team and talking with junior forward Tessa Grady. The Chants are on a 3-game winning streak, and they've scored over 100 points in 2 of those games, and Tessa's been a huge part of that success. Right now, she's made the 4th most three-pointers in the country with 29 and leads the team with over 14 points per game in her first year with the Chants. On this episode, we talked about her season so far, coming over from the Midwest, and her basketball journey. So let's hear it. Here's my conversation with Tessa Grady. We're talking with women's basketball on the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage once again. Talking with forward Tessa Grady. Tessa, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You did have a birthday this week.
Yes.
Tell me how that was.
Yep, 21st birthday yesterday. My family was in town, so we got some dinner, got to hang out, spend time together. It was perfect.
Have you ever had because this comes right in November, at the end of November, in the middle of the season, have you ever had a game on your birthday before?
That is a great question. I don't think so on my specific birthday, but I've definitely had practices and stuff.
Okay.
But always the day before, day after, right around there for sure.
Yeah. Well, the team had a practice today. You had some cake out there, some donuts.
Yep.
It was perfect.
It's perfect.
We're 9 games into this season now. Starting to get into the month of December. Just tell me how much fun you've had playing and for this team and this system and this coaching staff.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. I've said to my friends and family many times now that I haven't had this much fun playing basketball in a really long time. And so it's just really refreshing to be able to play with a group of girls that we're all determined to do the same thing, and that's get a Sun Belt championship under our belt. And obviously that goes one game at a time. I feel like our record doesn't show how good we're doing, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We have improved so much, and we're going to keep getting that record up for sure. But we've learned so much, and it's just been really refreshing to be with such a good group of girls and coaches as well.
Yeah, the record's 5-4, but the net ranking is top 100, which takes into a lot of different factors, which is really, really good. You guys are on a 3-game winning streak right now. Mm-hmm. In 2 of those 3 games, there's been 100-plus points scored. From what you've seen, what do you think's led to just an explosive offense like this?
Yeah, I really think that we've just built our chemistry up and have really gotten closer on the court and off the court. And just different people, like Kinsey Grimes, for example, was kind of quiet in the beginning of the season, but now is really coming out of her shell and put on a show that last game. Bailey Louder has so much potential as a freshman. We've seen spurts of it, but I'm she's going to be super good. And so I think just really coming together and getting closer and having that on-court chemistry has helped. And even today, we do 5-minute games of our offenses, and you can just tell that things are clicking more. And I think we kind of realized how good we are, and that made us play better, honestly.
Right.
So it's definitely exciting for all of us to realize how good we can be together.
We talked about you having a birthday in the middle of the season, but Thanksgiving is always in the middle of the basketball season. That was last week. Were you here for it? Did you guys do anything for it?
Yeah, we had practice on Thanksgiving morning, and then our whole team went over to Coach Shu's house, and she cooked us up a nice meal.
Every year, we always hear about the Coach Shu meal.
Yes, it was so good. I was getting all the hype around it. I was I have to try it for myself, and she did not disappoint. It
was elite.
Sure. Yes,
that's
awesome.
Good. Talking about this team, right now you're leading the team with 14.2 points per game. You've scored double-digit points in 7 of the 9 games so far. For you, what do you think has led to this breakout so far?
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing is just confidence. I've always loved to shoot the 3, but at Wisconsin, I kind of got a little limited to just being a 3-point shooter, and Coach P and the coaching staff harp on me doing more than just that and really expanding my game. And so I think that has built my confidence up a lot to be able to do more than just shoot and not just run to the corner and stand there and really drive and pass and defend. And I've never really played on a team that presses like this. And really the coastal chaos is something you really have to buy into. But I think that's part of what makes our offense so good is our defense leads to offense. And so, we do such a good job of moving the ball and going inside, outside. And so that's definitely helped me get some good shots, but also just playing together as a team for sure.
I think it says a lot about your level of play right now because you talk about adding certain levels and trying to diversify your game. And you've still made the 4th most amount of 3-pointers in the entire country with 29. How much time do you spend on making yourself a really just deadly outside shooter?
Yeah, people are actually usually really surprised. Like my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I could barely even shoot threes.
Wow.
It was like second half of high school season when I really started to work on it, and I had a trainer back home that we worked with like every single day. Got my shots up, and then here we make like 500 extra shots outside of practice on our own time, just getting on the gun and seeing that repetition. Really helps. So yeah, just repetition and confidence. Coach P harps that a ton, repetition and confidence, and so once you buy into that, I feel like that's really elevated my percentage as well.
And how do you think that this offensive system has allowed you to kind of get open for more of those shots?
Yeah, I think their biggest thing is like always be moving, but don't overcut, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
And so I think just really recognizing like when to cut, when to get open, when to set screens, and like with everybody, once those pieces of the puzzle come together, we just get a lot of green shots. Is what we always talk about, chasing green shots and not forcing red shots. And I think our offense does a really good job of that.
Tessa, I think your most impressive performance this year was on the road against NC State, at the time the 16th ranked team in the country. A really tough first half, but you guys go on a huge run. You outscore the Wolfpack in the second half, cut it down to a 9-point game at one point. It was a 13-point loss, but you scored 22 in that game. What do you think that performance said about this team?
Yeah, I think that really just showed our potential and who we can be. Obviously, really wish we could have gotten a win there, but it was really fun to play in that environment. They're an amazing program, always have been. And so it was just really exciting to be in an arena where their fans were super loud, and they wanted that win, but so did we. And so we really fought until the end. Obviously, wish that first half could have been a little prettier, but I don't know. I just think we really locked in on the game plan, and we realized that going into Tracy inside, that was a huge thing that they couldn't really stop for a while. And so once we really started going inside, outside, and moving the ball and getting stops on our press, I just think things started to flow a little bit more, but just took a little too long to get there for us.
Well,
but
that was still a result that boosts the net ranking,
yes,
for
sure.
which is great.
Yeah.
A little bit of background on you. You spent 2 years at Wisconsin, played a lot the first year, dealt with some injuries last season. Tell me about why Coastal was the fit for you after 2 years at a Big Ten school.
Yeah, for sure. When I entered the portal, I kind of knew I wanted to go somewhere warm. I wasn't totally sure, just really wanted to just talk to coaches and see what felt like the right fit. But I knew for sure that I wanted a coaching staff that really, really cared about me as like a person on the court and off the court. The off the court was probably the biggest part, honestly. And just having that relationship and like being able to go up to the coach's office and just hang out and it just be a fun, casual conversation. I did not have that at Wisconsin at all. And so it was just really refreshing, like from the first phone call that I had with them. I just could tell that they cared about that type of stuff. And so came on my visit and I committed, I think, a week later. I knew right away for sure. I think I gave my dad a look on the visit and I was like, yeah,
that's it.
We're coming here. So I just knew right away, like the fans love the HCC Center, the Coastal Chaos mentality. Campus is beautiful, location. I was used to the Midwest my entire life, and so needed to switch up, and it's been nothing but amazing so far.
How early into your recruiting visit were the 2 words Coastal Chaos mentioned?
I think that was like the first phone call before I even got here.
Not shocking. That's the brand. I mean,
yes.
that's what it is. Go back to your 2 years at Wisconsin, playing at a Big Ten level, right? What do you think that did for your preparation to be able to, take the moment and make it your own like you're doing right now?
Yeah. I mean, it was honestly like a blessing to be able to play against some of the players that I got to play against, like Caitlin Clark, Juju Watkins, a bunch of Indiana, like even just schools like Indiana, Oregon, like schools that are really, really, really good. And it was really cool to be able to play there and just against them. Definitely taught me a lot. Definitely had those freshman year moments of welcome to college for sure. But definitely learned a lot. And I just think it really grew me as a player and person, being able to play in like big environments, big arenas, really good ranked teams, while also dealing with injuries, like you said, and not loving the environment that I was in. And so I think I was able to learn from that and really become like a stronger individual and carry that over here to Coastal, and it's been going well for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about those welcome to college moments. This Coastal team has a freshman class of 3 really players that have high abilities: Olivia Klanick, Bailey Lauder, and Kinsey Grimes. And just seeing what they're able to do, how are you kind of able to help them with the experience that you have?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely preach to them, like, you're going to have moments where you're like, why did I sign up for this? And that's completely normal. And just letting them know that they can lean on us, that we've all been there, we've all experienced it. There's going to be days where you love everything about your experience, and there's going to be days where you don't. And so really just making sure that they know that they're not alone on that. And preaching that, like, it's more than just basketball, and like, you're not just a basketball player, like, it's just something you do, it's not who you are. And so I think they definitely have gotten that reminded to them a lot.
Sure.
So but yeah, they've been doing well. They're killing it, especially as freshmen. I'm very impressed with them. So
talking with Tessa Grady on the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. You mentioned it, coming from the Midwest. You're originally from Ohio. You spent those 2 years at Wisconsin. I think your family is originally from the Midwest, right? Mm-hmm. Your brother went to Wisconsin as well. How much of an adjustment has it been for you coming to Coastal and coming down to the South?
Yeah, it's definitely different. The weather is so much better. I found myself saying that like 40, 50 degrees was cold, and I was like, I can't even say that. I need to be appreciative that is what I think is cold now. So it's been really nice. I've never been able to just drive 15 minutes down the road to the beach, so love that aspect of it. And I've always been a palm tree fan, so love to have palm trees.
Me as well. Love that. Yeah, it's very scenic.
Yes, I love it.
Are you more of, because I mean, Wisconsin has a lot of lakes. I'm sure Ohio does too. Are you more of a lake person or a beach person?
I would probably say beach, but I love lakes as well. I love being by water for sure.
Yeah.
But I probably have to go with beach. Yeah.
She's been converted. Love that. Your mom played basketball at UMass. Like I said, your brother played football at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Just how big are sports in your family?
Oh my gosh, so big. Like you said, my brother played at Wisconsin. My dad went to Northwestern. So I grew up being in the Big Ten Conference for sure.
Seriously,
we'd be in road trips, and I remember them like quizzing me in the back seat, like, all right, like, who's the Big Ten Conference? You need to know every single team. And so once I committed here, we were like, we got to start doing that with the Sun Belt, because got to get to know our conference. But yeah, we watch sports all the time. There was never a time where the TV didn't have sports on. We had a basketball hoop in the driveway, and my brothers and I would play out there all the time. Parents involved as well. And so just kind of grew up around sports. I tried every sport in the book, but from the jump, basketball was the one for me for sure. And so grew up around it, tried flag football, soccer, track, everything, but basketball was just always the one for me.
You know, I spent a lot of time in Indiana. I lived there for about 8 years, and I can say this wholeheartedly. I think not only kids from Indiana, but kids in the Midwest, everybody grows up with a basketball hoop in their driveway.
Oh, yes.
Like, it's just a part of every house.
For sure.
When do you remember, like, what are some of your first basketball memories?
Yeah, I did. I played in an Upward League, which was like a little church league in my neighborhood, and we played on literal carpet courts.
Sure,
and we would have our little colored wristbands to tell us who we were guarding, and it was so funny. But looking back, I'm like, that is the first team I remember, and even though I probably was running around with no idea what I was doing, it definitely got me started. And then I was on like a small little like local league where my parents coached me and a bunch of my friends, and so that definitely like got things started. And then once I got into more travel and school associated teams, I just like was all in on it, got trainers and stuff, and have met so many people along the way, and now here we are, Coastal.
And how supportive has your family been along, your whole basketball journey?
Yeah, they're amazing. My mom, my dad, my stepdad, my brothers, they're amazing. Every single game they would be here if they could, and they're here most games. Traveling from Ohio, Chicago, even my brother from LA, he'll be here for some games for sure.
Nice.
So I love my family so much. They mean so much, and they've done so much for me from when I was in that Upward League to now. So I appreciate them a lot for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned how you love being about a 15-minute drive away from the beach when you're not on the basketball court and practicing or playing in the game. What are some things that you kind of find yourself doing?
Yeah, I love to just like explore and kind of get my bearings and try different like coffee shops and stuff like that. There's a Refresh Nutrition Cafe here that I've become obsessed with.
I've heard about that. Okay, all right.
And so, yeah, I've always loved to just kind of go around and try different places, food places, coffee shops, especially places by Myrtle. I've gone to explore a little bit, to be by the water. But then also spending time with my teammates, hanging out with family when they're here, but just spending time with the people who are close to me, getting to know the area a little bit more.
What's been your favorite food spot that you found so far around here?
Ooh, that's a good question. A go-to like fast food, I really like Why Not Wings. They've got some good wings.
Okay, all right.
And then I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but Boteca Vip is by Myrtle.
Okay.
It's like a Latin food type of place.
Yeah.
Definitely the best food that I've had since
I think I've seen it.
It's really good. Really good.
Interesting. Tessa, I'll close it out with this one, but off to a really, really solid start. Just how much are you looking forward to getting into Sun Belt play and just for the rest of the season here?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to play our conference. We look up at the banners in the HTC Center of all the schools in our conference that we're going to face and just say, like, they're coming for us. Like, they're all going to want to beat us, but we want to beat them just as bad. And so we just really have to buy in these next few non-conference games of, like, buying into the Coastal Chaos, what we do, and carrying it into the conference play and hopefully get us a Sun Belt championship.
That's right.
Yep.
Tessa, we look forward to watching more chaos from you and the rest of this team. Thanks for coming on the Chant Pod.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate Tessa for coming on and giving us the inside scoop on Coastal Chaos. The Chants play Jacksonville this weekend at 2 p.m. on Saturday in Florida on ESPN+. Then they come back home for 6 straight home games. Men's basketball hits the road this weekend for a match against Winthrop on Saturday at 2 p.m. in Rock Hill. It's a rematch of what we saw earlier this year when the Chants beat the Eagles at the HTC Center. Lastly, thank you to everyone in Teal Nation for all the work you did during this year's Chants Giving, raising over $500,000 for our programs. Just awesome stuff. You really made your impact, and there's a bright, bright future ahead for Coastal Athletics. We'll cap off this episode of the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. Thanks again to Tessa Grady for coming on for this week's interview. Have a great rest of your week, Teal Nation. I'm Sam Wiederhaft, signing off. Chants up.